Yo, what it do? It's your boy DJ Skandalous here, and we're back with another episode of Skandalous Talk. Before we get into this video, I want to let you guys know you can find all my podcasts on Anchor.fm or Spotify under Skandalous Talk or the 2Pac Music Podcast. Now let's get it. Alright guys, so now for this one, we're going to break down this old interview I did back in 2009 when I was just a little youngin' in this Tupac hip-hop game. Didn't know how to do mixes really back then. Didn't know how to do anything on the microphone. And I didn't even know how to master my vocals for my interviews. However, I did this interview for TupacNation.net, which is a now defunct Tupac forum website. However, there's a Facebook group you can find on Facebook, Tupac Nation, and a link to that is going to be below. So I did this interview for them with Spice One, the legendary Bay Area rapper that worked with Tupac on many songs like Fortune and Fame, Jealous Got Me Strapped, Can't Turn Back, and many more. So bear with me, this interview is piss poor quality wise, and I try to filter it out as much as possible to make the sound quality a little bit better. But like I said, that was early on in my career. I was about 19, didn't know how to interview. I sound like a little kid, but I just want to post my interviews on here so you guys can learn a little something about Tupac and the things that he was working on during his life. So in this part, the very first part of my interview with Spice One back in 2009, we talk about One Nation, whether or not Spice One was going to be a part of it. We also talk about the song Fortune and Fame, as well as Death Row Records. Now let's get it.
This is Kevin for Tupac Nation, and I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to do this interview with us.
Oh, for sure. It's nothing, man. You know, I'm always ready to get out and do this shit.
Can you tell us about your career, or what was your first job? How did you get interested in rap?
I mean, my pops was, he was a master at communications. He had a master's degree in communications, and he was also a poet. So, I mean, it was kind of like handed down as far as the poetry part. But when the rap music came in, I just kind of added my poetry to the music. It came out like, I just started, saying my poetry to the beat. So, but it was thug poetry, you know what I'm saying?
So does all the songs reflect something that happened in your life, or is it incidents that you've seen around your town or city?
Both, really. You hear stuff, you see stuff, you talk about it, changing names to protect the guilty.
Did the Black Panthers have an influence on you or your musical career?
Well, as far as, my dad was, my uncle and stuff were directly involved with that, you know what I'm saying? And I was kind of raised as far as, militant style. As far as, as that goes, as far as the Black Panthers, I was kind of raised in with that frame of mind, but it never was nothing against any other race. I always, loved everybody. I always will, you know what I'm saying? But, I was just raised in that environment, where my dad was like, stay strong, stay black, you know what I'm saying? All of that. So kind of know about that too, you know what I'm saying? As far as you staying strong mentally and physically too. That got a lot to do with my poetry, my rap music, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. So how did you get first notice? I heard you got noticed by Too Short.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was a lot of things going on around in the town as far as the Bay, that time. And, I was kind of like putting it down real heavy. NWA would come out and I would open up, do the opening act, and, I put it down. And next thing you know, Short is like, man, you want to make a record? And, then being the Dangerous Crew thing. And then I started doing my own thing, draw my first album or whatever, or the Spice One, Let It Be Known. That just circulated through the Bay like crack, you know what I'm saying?
Who was your favorite person to make songs with during your career?
Of course, it was Tupac, you know what I'm saying? Sort of more like an uncle. He was my OG partner, you know what I'm saying? And he is like one of my favorite artists in the world, But me and Pac just clicked so hard, you know what I'm saying? It was cool doing songs with him or whatever.
When did you actually meet Pac?
Like right after the Juice, he showed up to my video shit. He was like, he started reciting my lyrics to my stutter rap and shit when I met him, you know what I'm saying? And, we've been partners ever since, you know what I'm saying?
So a lot of songs have been on the internet of you and him, but I noticed that there's not a lot of Death Row material. Why is that?
Suge was real tight on whatever came up out of Row, so it probably wasn't. He was real tight on everything that came up out of Death Row. When we recorded a few things, but, like the song Fame, we recorded that one on Death Row, and I didn't know where that was until it just popped up somewhere on the internet.
Yeah, that just leaked about a couple months ago. Do you know why they took you off the song or why they didn't put you on the remix?
No, I haven't even talked to anybody from that camp about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as, the Outlaws and everybody, I talked to them, but, as far as anybody who can do anything about it. Because, I mean, I looked at him like if he had intended for anybody else to be on the song, he would have went and got him, instead of coming and getting me and Kokane. So,
In the interview, like a gridlock interview, I think it was, that Tupac was actually talking about the song and I think he intended to release it. So I think you should have been on the song. I don't know why they took you off.
yeah, yeah, I remember I've been looking for that interview because I think it was right after he passed. I was laying in my hotel room. I just did a show, and I was in my hotel room, and Our Life was off, and the TV cut on. I cut the TV on, and there was that interview popped up, and he was singing a song that we had did because we had did it just before he passed. So that was kind of weak. That was crazy, I've been looking for that interview. You ever find that, holler at me.
Did Tupac have any plans to sign you to Makaveli Records or allow you to be on the One Nation album?
Oh yeah, definitely. We used to often get down. He was talking about coming out to the Bay and just, everybody getting money and doing their thing and making it happen. He was trying to hook up everybody, all of the Bay Area cats, you know what I'm saying, me included, and, everybody else that, that come from the Bay Area was down with Pac. He was trying to include them with everything, Mac Mall, 40, anybody who was with us, in our circle at that point in time, even though he was in LA, he was still, our nigga from the Bay, you know what I'm saying?
Did you guys record anything for One Nation or was that just something that you guys were going to do in the future?
Well, we were about to start recording for that and everything. We was gonna start doing our thing. That was the plan. Pocket came and picked me up one day from the Mondrian Hotel in Hollywood, and he was just like, man, we finna do this One Nation shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna come back out to the Bay. He was like, I just sold 6 million copies of a double CD. He was like, Sugar Page. You know what I'm saying? I'm come back out to the Bay and do my thing and everything, and let's do this One Nation shit. You know what I'm saying? We had talked about that. It wasn't like right before he passed. It was like maybe I think after the elevator incident in New York, a few months after that.
All right, guys, so that was part one. I'll have part two up pretty soon, as well as my other interviews with Layla Steinberg and Dave Aaron. The other halves of those interviews come very soon as well on my Skandalous Talk YouTube channel, on Skandalous Talk, on Spotify and Anchor.fm, as well as my 2Pac Music podcast, which you can find everywhere. All right, guys, so you know what time it is. This has been your boy, DJ Skandalous, your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. And I'll catch all you busters on the flip side. We out. Deuces.